What is going on, all of my Monster Jam fans out there? I just realized that the song that they're playing in the intro in 2015 is my intro song. That's so cool. That's so lit. Alright, awesome. Into the video. Hi, everybody. That's a very different intro than normal. Welcome to another Monster Jam commentary. Here we are in St. Louis, Missouri in 2015 in the Edward Jones Dome as Monster Jam is ready to roll into town with another amazing Monster Jam show. This is going to be a good one because this is in fact the Monster Jam Fox Sports 1 Tour. The Fox Sports 1 Championship Series is underway here. This is from this is from January 31st. And again, I gave video credit in the beginning of the video, so let's get ready for Monster Jam. We have a great lineup today. 3, 2, 1. This is Monster Jam. Let's meet your competitors. We have Charlie Balkin in Gravedigger, Dustin Brown in Monster Mud, Neil Elliott in Max D, Chuck Warner in El Toro Loco, Damon Bradshaw in Monster Energy, Medusa, Bari Musauer in Zombie, Lindsey Wink in the Lucas Oil Crusader, Chip Kohler in Avenger, Steve Kohler in Wrecking Crew, Steve Sims in Stone Crusher, Steve Sims Jr. in Hooked, Jim Benzik in Thunder 4x4, Brendan Darrow in Bad News Travels Fast, Darren Gowen in War Wizard, and Donald Epidendio in Titan. So without further ado, my friends, let's get into some Monster Jam action from 2015. St. Louis, are you ready? So we're here in the first round of racing. We have Thunder 4x4 and Jim Benzik in the near lane taking on Damon Bradshaw and Monster Energy in the far lane. You may remember back in 2015 they did a qualifying round and then they took the top 8 drivers and moved them into the actual bracket. So this should be a very good race here. As you can see, these two guys had to earn their way into the lineup here to go head to head, but it seems like Damon Bradshaw is going to make easy work of Jim Benzik as he moves in to the semi-final round of racing. Up next here, we have Charlie Balkin and Gravedigger taking on Neil Elliott in Max D. Two great drivers going really head-to-head right now. And the funny thing is, later on in the year in the World Finals, these two threw down some amazing freestyles with some of the biggest saves in World Finals history. But Neil Elliott right now seems to have a little bit of an edge, and the black and green wrecking machine is going to go down a little early as Neil Elliott is moving on. Up next here we have Steve Sims and Stone Crusher taking on Dustin Brown in Monster Mud. You may see that they seem like they're getting a little bit of a burp off the starting line. That's because they always put a little pile of dirt on that starting line to make it a little bit more interesting right away. And Steve Sims going on a wild ride. He's going to save it, but he's not going to be able to save his night of racing here today as Monster Mud is going to win this race and move on to the semifinal round. Dustin Brown is able to soar on. Up next here we have Donald Epidendio in Titan taking on Lindsey Wink in the Lucas Oil Crusader. Donald Epidendio taking a good line to that turn, and he squeezes ahead of Crusader by a few lengths there. And Lindsey Wink a little squirrely after the landing. That gives Epidendio a good opportunity, but Epidendio messes up. This is going to be a close race. Epidenio cutting the turn tight, but it's not going to matter. Lindsey Wink capitalized on his mistake and is moving on. Here in the semifinals now, we have Damon Bradshaw and Monster Energy taking on Neil Elliott in Max D. Neil Elliott flying over the finish line first here in the first go-around, with Damon Bradshaw having a few truck lengths to make up at this point. He's really far behind. It seems like Neil Elliott's going to have an easy win, and Damon Bradshaw almost colliding with Neil Elliott, able to save himself, but it doesn't matter as Neil Elliott and Max D is moving on. Up next, we have Lindsey Wink and the Lucas Oil Crusader taking on Dustin Brown in Monster Mud. And Dustin Brown is upended here. A rough break is going to cost him his night. That is disappointing, but somehow that is going to be a very interesting end. But it's going to put Lindsey Wink in the next round, the final round of racing, which is where we are right now, between Neil Elliott and Max D and Lindsey Wink in the Lucas Oil Crusader. Neil Elliott is up a little bit early. This is going to be a very good race. Two drivers who love racing, but it seems like Neil Elliott has a lead right now going into this final turn. And indeed he does, as Neil Elliott and Max D is your racing winner tonight. And we are moving on to the freestyle competition. But Neil Elliott, a huge racing win there. Congratulations to Neil. He looked good all night long. But up next here, we have St. Louis Freestyle, and Neil Elliott's kicking us off here because he came in last time out, and he is off to a good start. Oh my, big air right off the bat. That's his second hit. Neil Elliott trying to get himself a very good freestyle in there today. Some nice air. He's going to have to set the bar high. He's a Max D driver coming out first. You don't want to come out first in back-to-back weeks if you were a driver of this truck. It puts a bad rep on your name. So you can guarantee that he's going to go hard here in freestyle in front of these St. Louis fans. Wow! Huge air there for Neil Elliott and Max D. Get a little crooked, but it doesn't matter as some spikes start flying off the truck. St. Louis always a great home for Monster Jam. It's always been the host of spectacular action. And Neil Elliott continuing that today with some more big air. He is sending Max D right off the bat, getting some big air. And man, this truck can fly. And Neil Elliott is a great pilot, getting some bigger air, kicking the show off right here in freestyle. St. Louis getting a nice freestyle from Neil Elliott. He's making a push to win this competition, coming out just first. He is in bonus time, so you have to remember that these points are counted by just one judge. And some more nice air. He's just getting nice hits. Hasn't gone for a backflip yet, but we'll have to see if he does eventually attempt that, going over the crush cars. They have a lot of those out here in 2015. They tried to make those a staple in the freestyle, and they are doing just that here today. Still no backflip, but he is going for some nice air. Cross-threading that jump. Oh boy, Neil Elliott, a little save out of it. Going for the backflip. Yes, he is. Oh my! He's on the rear two wheels and he saves it. What a move out of Neil Elliott and Max D. What a run. I'm going to have to give him a 41. An amazing run for Neil Elliott. And that'll bring up Lindsey Wink and the Lucas Oil Crusader. A 41 is not an easy score to beat. You have to keep in mind also that these are professional judges judging these shows, so you should see the scores be a little bit similar to mine. But man, that's an impressive run to start off. I wanted to give him a 42, but I hesitated because he's coming out first, and I want to leave a little bit of room for drivers coming out later on to do something, but he's definitely going to be in the top, if not winning this competition. Lindsey Wink off to a decent start so far. Not the momentum that we saw out of Neil Elliott, but we know that Neil Elliott can definitely put down an amazing freestyle, so we can't compare Lindsey Wink to Neil Elliott, but so can Lindsey Wink. He can throw down a great freestyle, just in a very different way. He takes it easy for the first minute or so, and then we'll definitely turn it on for these fans out here in St. Louis, so you just gotta wait for that. As he cross-threads that jump, put himself in a bit of an awkward spot, as he does have to go off the side of the track a little bit, but I don't think that's going to really affect him too much. He's making a lot of hits. He's having some strange landings off of some of these hits, but he's most certainly throwing down a good freestyle so far. Lindsey Wink rolling over. Can he save it? He's fighting it, but he can't. The engine blows. A tough break for Lindsey Wink. I'm going to have to give him a 20 for that freestyle. And that'll bring up the truck from the undead, Barry Sour in Zombie. Goes to that racing lane first and tries to pull a slap really out of it. A nice move to kick off his freestyle. Barry Musauer, always a great freestyler, and he's out here trying to continue that today in St. Louis, Missouri. 2015, a very interesting time for monster trucks. I wasn't watching Monster Jam at this time, so I really don't know anything that happened during the year. I just know how the World Finals went down. So that's why 2015 is always a time where I can do commentaries without worrying about any spoilers at all. But the disappointing thing is that I don't really get to do many of them because there aren't tons of videos for 2015 shows, but I would love to do them. Also, I didn't do a Top Tuesdays this week. I sent a reminder on my phone 2 weeks ago when I started. Wow! Nice air there for Bari. Oh my, he's getting a little crazy on the freestyle track. That was cool, and it's going on some sidewalls. Oh no, Bari's wild ride ends in a heap. That's going to do it for him there. So a tough break, so Bari is done just a wee bit early. So I think that'll bring up Wrecking Crew right now. There's a lot of trucks over there that can come out, but it is Wrecking Crew. We'll see what Steve Kohler can do. But I set a reminder 2 weeks ago for the Top Tuesdays, but for some reason I didn't set it to repeat, so I didn't get a notification, so I forgot to do it, and I was at school, so I completely forgot all about it. But you can count on there being one this week. I've got a lot of things in store for you guys. Oh no, Steve Kohler going over, rough break. The track kicked him up just a little bit there. I'm going to have to give him a 7. Up next, I believe this is Bad News Travels Fast. Yes, it is. This is Bad News Travels Fast. Out here, Brandon Darrow freestyling in St. Louis. Kicking things off with a little hit there. But I have a lot in store. There's some news to the Monster Jam Steel Titan Sports League, so please go and check out that the Monster Jam Steel Titan Sports League. We have 3 shows up there so far. Show number 4 is actually no, I think we have more than that. I don't remember. I believe we have 3 shows up there so far. Show number 4 will be out today. So we are getting very close to the end of the Monster Jam Steel Titan Sports League's first season. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a really fun time. We always enjoy ourselves out there. I also have plans of starting my own baseball podcast and baseball YouTube channel. Try and expand, because in college that is something that I intend on doing, is making a baseball podcast and trying to spread it out there. And if I put it out on YouTube, I could even make some money from it, which would really help myself out a lot as well. So a lot of different things that I'm going to be thinking of doing in the upcoming weeks and even months. And I've got a lot of planned for you guys as well for next year. I've got things in store already. I'm really excited because Monster Jam next year is going to be so cool, so unique. But we've got a lot of stuff still going on. I've got Glendale and the All-Star Challenge back-to-back weeks. That'll be happening in a little bit over a month. I can't wait for that. I'm going to be a member of the track crew for Glendale. That's going to be awesome. My first track crewing job. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the All-Star Challenge is going to be a great time all around, too. So Brandon Darrow right now freestyling in St. Louis. Not great, but he is in freestyles bonus time. Oh boy, a little bit of smoke coming out of the rear end of the truck. Seems like his rear steer may be locked up here. Yeah, his rear steer seems to be locked up, so he's going to just throw it into a donut. A nice little donut action there for Bad News Travels Fast, something we haven't seen yet today. So that is going to wrap up his run. I'm going to have to give him a 21 for that. Completed the time and was able to do it with a solid run. Up next is War Wizard. I completely forgot the guy's name. Darren Gowen. That's his name. I don't know who he is, and I never knew that he drove the truck. Obviously, I didn't really watch Monster Jam in 2015 anyway, so I didn't know about this guy, but my first time ever watching him drive, and first time ever even hearing of him. So let's see if he can throw down a good freestyle. I remember the good old War Wizard days when Randy Moore would come out, and man, he would put on a great show. He was such a great driver, and I mean, he was so much fun to watch. His first ever World Finals came in 2009, and it was his last, I believe. Actually, I don't remember if he was in 2010 or not, but I know he was definitely in 2009. And man, he was such a great guy. He always threw down. And I remember 2009 was such a great year for him. He had some amazing freestyles. I remember Jacksonville was one of his best. I mean, he was just going nuts in that Jacksonville show. So just the things that you remember, it's really funny how you think of certain things, but you know, for some reason when I think of War Wizard, I always think of Jacksonville 2009. I don't even remember why. I don't remember what he did. That's what I think of. And Darren going out here trying to continue the legacy of the War Wizard truck. Nice little sky, really getting some elevation there. So certainly not going to be the winning run unless he does something incredible, because Neil Elliott right now sitting with a 41. That's a tough score to beat. The highest score I've ever given a driver was a 42. That was Cynthia Gauthier and Monster Mutt Dalmatian from Arlington. Obviously, it's a bit of a small sample size because I haven't done too many runs like this. So we'll just have to wait and see what we can get in the future. I'm waiting for my first perfect 45. I'm sure we'll get there at some point. He spinning it into a donut, and you've got to believe that Randy Moore would be proud of seeing where this truck has come, or how far it's grown, and Darren Gowen definitely doing a good job representing it here today. That's going to be the end of the run. I got to give that a 21, which will tie Bad News Travels Fast. Up next we have 4x4 Thunder. This is Jim Benzik. Like I always was surprised by how well he really drove. I think he was a very underrated driver. I don't believe he drives anymore, but back when he used to drive, he certainly was an underrated driver. I always loved his truck. But he was always a little bit higher elevation, not elevation, he was always a little bit of a higher skilled driver than the lower tier drivers that we see. Most people don't think of him as a high tier driver. A lot of people will think of him as a lower tier driver, but I think he can be classified a little higher than that. He was certainly a fun driver to watch if he was having a good day. And it was always such a pretty truck. I mean, the 4x4 Thunder, it's a great idea, and you know what? He wrote it out really well. He made that brand his own for a very long time. Oh my, a nice slap wheelie there for 4x4 Thunder. Jim Benzik, the best move of his run so far. Nice little combo up of a wheelie. He is in bonus time. He has not gotten as many hits as I would like him to get, though. That has hurt his scores. He seems to be searching around a little too much for something to do that may end up really impacting him in the end. I think he's going for a donut here. We have seen now 3 of these in a row, so that kind of kills the creativity factor of it. But if he can do it better than the others, then maybe not. A good donut going right now. 4x4 Thunder tearing it up. A cyclone here in St. Louis. A nice freestyle capper there. Enough to give him a 25. That'll bring up Steve Sims in Stone Crusher. Nice air off of that car stack. Your leader still Max D with a 41, in my opinion. Stone Crusher getting some nice air. Steve Sims, a guy who was an always underrated freestyler. He could throw down a heck of a freestyle anytime out. And you had to count on him to do so. Getting some nice air. He is off to a decent start in this run. Not the pace that Neil Elliott has had. Nobody really has reached that standard yet of driving. Obviously, just one big move could put you closer, but you're going to have an all-around really good run to beat a 41. Oh boy, a little bit of a hard landing there for Stone Crusher, but he's still going to keep going along. Some nice air. And gonna combo it up with a bit of a sky wheelie. So a good run at this point for Stone Crusher. He's freestyling his heart out here in St. Louis. Some more nice air. Steve Sims was one of the more top tier drivers at this time. This is before he really started to fall off a wee bit. But I mean, he's throwing down a good run right now. I don't know if it'll win, but he's racking up points. Nice sky wheelie. So he is having a good freestyle so far. I think you guys will be surprised by the score that I'm going to give him. But it's been a good run. I mean, Steve Sims always has been a good freestyler. Everyone knows that. I mean, some people tend to forget that he has been robbed of a few World Finals freestyle wins. So, you know what? You got to give him props for that. Scores are in. I'm going to have to give him a 33, which will not be enough for the lead, but a 33 is really great for Steve Sims. Up next, we have the son of Steve Sims. This is Steven Sims Jr. out here at a freestyle in Hooked. You can see some blue smoke coming out of the truck. Don't really know what that's from. Nice combo there. Walking that wheelie. That was a good move. We haven't seen anything like that quite tonight. Putting together a good run to this point. It's just Steven Sims' I believe, first or second year in Monster Jam. Again, I don't really know a ton from 2014 and 15. I just know that he started in this time period. I mean, such a good driver. I mean, he's still a great driver today, but I mean, he had such potential back then. Everyone saw it. Driving this Hook truck, I mean, he never won a Double Down Showdown, but he tore it up. He could really put on a great show anytime out onto the track, and some more big air. He has done that quite consistently. His truck, his body of the truck seems to be wanting to just fall right off, but it's not giving him any inches. Wow, big air again. He is in bonus time right now. He is putting on a good run. You can hear the fans clapping. Oh my! He is really getting some nice air. And continuing. Jeez! He's really airing this puppy out, and a nice save for Hooked! What a run! He puts it on all fours at the end of the run. Gonna have to give him a 35, which will not be enough for the lead, but that is quite the impressive showing out here in freestyle. Up next, we have El Toro Loco. This is Chuck Warner trying to take down Neil Elliott and Max D. We haven't seen a backflip since Neil Elliott. Chuck Warner riding in his Max D chassis, always has. This is his own personal chassis that he's always ran, and such a really great truck. He works really well in it. I always love Chuck Warner. I'm disappointed that he isn't driving anymore because, I mean, he gave the fans such a great run out of it anytime he was on the track. some really nice air for El Toro Loco. Wow! Getting some hang time there, so he's off to a good start. He loses the roof of the truck. Oh my! That's some real air right there! El Toro Loco getting some nice air and a nice combo doing that slap wheelie on top of the ramp. He is going to have to back it up. That causes him some points. So that's a tough break there. The judges do deduct those points at this time. So far, they're not the best of runs. We've got to see what he's got in store for the rest of his run, though. Getting some nice air. So he's going for the backflip here. A nice backflip. Oh my! And he is going to roll it over. So a decent run there. I'm going to have to give him a 30, which is not the best of runs, but he definitely did his best. Max D, though, most certainly has had the best run of the show so far. Up next is Jim Kohler in Avenger. This was the year, I believe, that he was walking 0 points on this tour, which is hilarious. I love how he put that on his truck at the end of the year. That was so funny. Seems like he's having rear steering issues already. That's going to cost him 2 points from backing up. And he's only made 1 hit, so he's already really not good standing. Some nice air, though, will rebound him and get him a couple points. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Wild ride for Jim Kohler. Can he save it? On the side? No. So a tough break. Gonna have to give him a 7, which ties Wrecking Crew. So him and his brother with the 2 worst freestyles of the night. I find that really funny. Up next here we have Donald Epidendio in Titan. The Epidendog out here to freestyle in St. Louis. I believe in one of my top 5 random freestyles when I did that a long time ago. I believe I saw a 2014 freestyle of Donald Epidendio. He's currently off the track right now, I'd like to point out. But here he is freestyling. Nice air off the bat. That's announcing his presence a wee bit. I love Titans. One of the prettiest bodies in the sport. I mean, there's no question about it. Really big air. I mean, it sounds good. It looks good. There's just Titan's one of the best trucks. I really wish it competed in Monster Jam still. It competes internationally. I mean, not internationally, independently. And it's always good to see him in an independent show here and there. But I mean, it's just not the scale of what we got to see him do in Monster Jam. And his truck always seems, when he hits a jump, his truck really pitches forward. I don't really know why it does that, but it does. It naturally like pulls itself forward, which is something strange. I never quite understood that. That's what ended up costing him his freestyle in 2016, because he hit the jump, hit the brakes, and it nosedived him into the center of the track. He is putting down a good freestyle right now. Little bit of an underwhelming momentum part of the run. I mean, you've got to believe that he'll turn it on at some point like that with some nice air. Walking it into a slap wheelie, that is not easy to do. So Titan putting on a good freestyle. And again, another nosedive from Titan. Simple but really pretty. That's really how you can describe this truck. It's simple. I mean, there's really no reason for why he has the truck designed like this, but it looks awesome. And nice air there. And some more nice air. So he's putting down a good freestyle. Seems like he may need to go for the backflip, though, if he wants to get a win out here in St. Louis. Another nice hit. And some more nice air. So he's really putting down a good freestyle, I must say. Titan has put himself in the running for the win, but I don't think he's going to get it. It's going to be a 34 for Don Lepidendio, and Titan that'll bring up Monster Mutt. This is Dustin Brown. Here comes a dog to Freestyle. Monster Jam's very own pet dog. Off and running. Off to a decent start so far. Oh my! That's the biggest air of the night right there from Monster Mutt. Huge air. That is a way to get yourself invigorated in that truck. I'm sure that had to hurt. The body's starting to fall off. Something to watch out for throughout the rest of this run. Oh, wow! What the heck was that? That's going to cost him his run, which stinks, because that was a great run. I have to give him a 21 there. Up next, we have Damon Bradshaw in Monster Energy. Some nice air off the bat. There's 2 more trucks after Monster Energy, I believe. Unless somebody is just not coming out to Freestyle. Sees the 14th truck out. Oh boy, a little cattywampus is Damon Bradshaw. Just please marvel at the way that he drives. I mean, such an amazing driver. He gets huge air in his runs, and he just goes no holds barred anytime he's on the track. Oh my! It's just amazing what he could do in a truck. I'm so disappointed that he doesn't get to drive anymore, because in the game we have today, he would probably be one of the best, if not the best driver out here. Never loved doing the backflip, which obviously hurt him a lot, and the back up there is going to hurt him too. But he never did the backflip really with consistency, which hurt his scores a lot. That may have been a reason why they didn't keep him. But you know what? We're going to have to look back at some of David Bradshaw's freestyles from over the years and say, man, if you got to witness this dude while he was driving like this, you were in for a treat, and you were a lucky guy or gal, because man, I got to see Damon Bradshaw win a freestyle championship. I got to see him freestyle so many times. Just such a great driver, and you never wanted to miss it. Oh my God! Damon Bradshaw just went airborne. Monster Energy. I think the Monster Energy just kicked in. Oh my goodness, that was the biggest air of the night. Not going for the backflip as expected, but my goodness! The air from Damon Bradshaw on 2 wheels now! What a run! Sadly, the beginning of the run wasn't as good as the ending, because that may have cost him big time. I'm about to give him a 35, which will not be enough for the win, but that was awesome! I believe we are on the last truck of the night, which would be Gravedigger. It is, in fact, the last truck of the night. So if someone doesn't come out to freestyle, I don't know who, but this is Charlie Parkin in the Zoomy Machine Gravedigger. Here comes Charlie Parkin. We just saw some massive air from Damon Bradshaw, but Neil Elliott still has had the best one of the night. I gave him a 41. That is held up. He's got 4 points to work with if he wants to take down his arch rival, Max D. And he's off to a good start with some big air. I love the way Charlie Parkin's truck looked. I think Charlie's truck looks a little better without the green rims, in my opinion. I think he just rocks it so well. So far, not the best of pace, but you know what? He's just beginning, and Charlie always takes it easy, gets some nice hits in there to get the fans intrigued, but then when he needs to, he turns it on and can be one of the best freestylers we've ever seen. Getting some nice air, flying the digger across the Edward Jones Dome here in St. Louis. Oh my! More big air. No one's reached the elevation that Damon Bradshaw has that he just set this last run. I mean, he was so high up there. That was amazing air. It's almost untoppable. But Charlie Buggin, another guy who has gotten some huge air over his career, so we'll see how he does. We have only seen 2 backflip attempts so far, both from Max D chassis. Charlie definitely needs to pick it up, though. He's got a lot of ground to make up, and he's in bonus time right now, and he has not really done anything superb. Oh no, he's really far off the track. He has to be careful there. He's going for the backflip. Here he goes. Backflip time in St. Louis, and he nailed it perfectly. A really nice backflip there. And I think that's going to be the end of his run. Oh no, maybe not. He's going in reverse a little bit. That's crazy. Whoa! Oh my gosh, what was that? I have to give him a 38, so let's check and see who won this competition. Okay, so clearly these judges were a little bit not paying attention because your freestyle winner is El Toro Loco. I don't know how that's possible. I'm baffled by that. I gave El Toro Loco a 30, and I gave Max D a 41, and Max D only got a 37. So that's a little weird. I'm a little bit confused by that. But you know what? It was still a great show. As you can see next week, you could catch Moline, Illinois. But a good show all around today. These guys really tore it up. A lot of freestyles over 30. We had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 15 freestyles scored over a 30. So that means that this was a really top-notch freestyle. But you've got to believe that Neil Elliott, I mean, coming out first, got a 41. I can understand why they didn't give him a 41 because he was coming out first. But, I mean, he just tore it up. But thank you, everybody, for watching. I will see you all next time.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.